So I'm now with Mike Slipchuk, the High Performance Director at Skate Canada, here at the High Performance Camp for Skate Canada. It's a pretty intense and exciting week, particularly as we head into the Olympic season. So really appreciate you chatting with us. Talk to us about the purpose of the camp and the feeling and skaters' goals coming into it.
We started to run this camp prior in the years leading up to the Vancouver Games, and we did it in Vancouver in the venue that we were going to be competing in, and that's kind of where this concept started. And it's been a concept that's worked well for us. It gives our athletes a chance to come out, do their programs, full run-throughs of the programs, and get feedback from the judges and officials that we have on site to best prepare them for the events in the year ahead. So we found it's a template that's worked well. It's a fun weekend for I think everyone because it's really kind of jumpstarts our season.
Mm-hmm. So are there skaters that will come off of this with sort of the confidence that they're on the right track, and others that might think we need to do some tweaking based on the input and direction that we got?
Yeah, and I think this is it because a lot of times you getting the feedback from the judges on your components on areas that can be stronger or what to do, and then also on with the technical people. The technical is such a big part, and it evolves. So this is a really good chance just to have them take a look at all your elements in the program and make sure everything is good. You're maximizing your points, and then you go home and just keep going from there.
Mm-hmm. There were so many strong positive stories about the Canadian team last season and certainly in Helsinki. The standout for many people was 2 women on the podium,
yes.
which has never been done.
No.
And Caitlin and Gabby, well, amazing skaters,
yep.
didn't have those sorts of credentials going into Helsinki and capitalized and made it happen. Was that a surprise to you, or were you pretty confident based on your knowledge of how they've been training that they could do that?
The season they had last year, as the season started and went on, we really saw that they had both really stepped up to another level. And as the events went on, the senior internationals, and then got into the Grand Prix, they you could just see it building, and we kind of just saw where they were evolving to, and we knew at that point that they were going to be competitive with the top, and especially when Caitlin made the final and she's right in there. It was kind of exciting. At Worlds, I can't say we were totally surprised. We knew they both skate clean short programs. They're going to be in the top 5, top 6. Mm-hmm. And when you're up there, you can be anywhere. So, I think that's just, it's a testament to just step by step in the process to get there. But, were we surprised to get 2 medals? Yeah, because we've never had that before. But right. I can't say we were shocked. It was, we hoped for it, and it was nice to see it happen.
Mm-hmm. It was incredible to see Caitlin, make that happen, but also particularly incredible to see Gabby, who hadn't had the same kind of, she had success in the Grand Prix series, but not necessarily the points and the medals to attribute to that. Based on your observation of Gabby, here and over the course of the the off season, where do you think she's at, and how do you think she's doing as she heads into this really important season?
Well, I think we have to look back that she was second at 4 continents, and I think that was kind of that confidence boost, and that for her that was that step that she needed to make last year. Like, she was close on the Grand Prix events, sat around 4th, 5th at the 2 events, but then that 4 continents, she kind of made that big step forward, and that gives you the confidence and puts you in the game. And with Gabby, she's a tough kid, she's a fighter, and she'll keep building from there. And I haven't seen a lot of the skaters this summer. I'll see them most here, but definitely the programs they put together, great programs, and I think it's that confidence going into the year is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. there is so much anticipation for how Canada will perform in the team event in Pyeongchang because of the depth of strength in each of the 4 disciplines right now in Canada. Are you feeling that, and does that sort of ratchet up the pressure on yourself and your team and colleagues at Skate Canada to make those really important picks?
Well, we want to be in this position, and we always kind of, the goal when we have our program and our athletes coming up is we want to have depth. And you're right, to come out of last year's Worlds and have depth in all 4 categories definitely is a strength. And yeah, we're going to have some tough decisions to make because we have a veteran team, a team that's, most of the team's been through a team event already, so they understand what it's about and the importance of it. And I think the toughest thing on our side is going to be at the end of the day when we have to determine who's in it, because we're going to have good skaters that won't get a chance to be a part of it due to the rules. But as a nation, we need to put the best team on the ice in Pyeongchang, and it's not anything we're even focusing on now. We got to get through the Grand Prix. We got to see how everyone's doing, how the season goes, how their health, and as we get closer to the event, then we'll determine who's going to be on the team for the games.
Okay, what were some of your big learnings and lessons coming from Sochi and the team event there?
I think a few of them was as we got into the team event, you really understood how important it's an Olympic medal. And I think that was a change because our athletes aren't used to going in a team concept for games, and so as the team event went along, you could kind of see the energy of, wow, like this is a medal. And how I kind of put it to our athletes after they won the silver medal is like, this is like the rolling 8 winning, and you kind of go, yeah, and like this is this is a big thing back home. And I it was never underlooked, but it was a real learning curve for the athletes and for us of trying to manage the individual aspirations they had and building the team. But you need to go through it once to really understand. And I said, now that we've gone through it once, the athletes better understand what they feel they're able to do. If they're in a position that they feel I can do my individual and I can do the team, then that's great. And so I think our options are going to be better. But I said, everyone's going to want to be a part of it. We have a lot of depth and a lot of skaters that can be a part of it, and it would be unfortunate that not everyone can. But I'd rather be in that position where we have options than none.
So that's interesting that you say that everybody would want to be a part of it, because for those who might be concerned about pacing themselves and having less gas in the tank to compete in their individual event, we saw in Sochi, for example, that the German team, Slipchuk and Selkovi, at the time didn't compete because they didn't. Well, this is all rumors from what I've sort of called on the internet, but essentially they didn't feel that Germany had a good shot at a team medal, and they didn't want to burn themselves out. Do you have the experience where you've approached some skaters and they've said, "Yeah, I really don't want to do both the short and the long"? Or
we haven't had a lot of discussion on it yet. Like, we've kind of just talked big picture on it of what's ahead. That they know the schedule. Like, we know the dates of when everything is, and it's, as I said, it's one of those things that we really want to keep the focus right now on. Let's do the Grand Prix series. We've got to qualify first, right?
Sure.
We got to make sure we're one of the 10 nations in there.
Right.
But these are decisions that we'll really start to look at in January, when we get through the Grand Prix, we see how the seasons are, we see how everyone's performed, short programs, long programs, strengths, weaknesses, and health, and where everyone's at, and then we'll go to the next step of determining. But it's one of those things that's in the back of everyone's mind, but I don't want it overriding, because we have a long way to go before we get to that point.
Sure. And can you take viewers sort of into the decision-making process? Are there fairly stringent rules that really inform how these decisions are made? Does it lie with a committee, with yourself? Who makes the call?
Basically, it has to be drawn from the athletes that qualify for the Olympics. So that'll be step one. So with our selection process, it does go through a committee and through our board of the selection of the team. Once the team is selected, it's discussions that we would have with the coaches. Not as much with the athletes. We'd have more discussions with the coaches with their athletes. But it's a group effort. Like we found out last time, everyone pretty much was on the same page of who was our best bet to be in the team event, and I feel it'll be the same way. Like, no, we'll never get in a position where someone's going to try to push an athlete in for a reason that's not what we're looking for. So it's a group effort, but again, it'll become, in my mind, pretty clear as we get into January, what athletes have laid out their plan, that it all works in, and then we'll go from there. But as I said, it's we definitely don't kind of grab it remotely out of the sky. We'll definitely do our due diligence with our key people in Skate Canada to make that decision.
Okay. Have any of the rules changed by the IOC or the ISU in terms of what the team event will sort of look like? Is it still that two disciplines can sort of swap out?
Yeah. I think it's a two swap. I think the biggest change is you now have to have qualified for the Olympics to go in. You just can't, you can't be brought in as a wild card, which they did the last time. So if your country has not qualified a certain discipline, then you can only put 3 people in the team event. So that is the biggest change. Okay. So the importance for us of having all 4 disciplines, 3 in every discipline, 2 in men. The depth helps us. That if something happened, we have a lot to choose from, which is a big thing.
A couple questions regarding some Canadian team members. So Patrick Chan is now going into his second season now with Marina's Wave at the helm, and there was more shifting last season in between. Do you think that's more settled and will give him more confidence and strength and consistency going in?
Yeah, and again, that was second year back after taking the time off. But it's a good environment, good system. He's looks good this summer, and again he's been through this. This would be his 3rd games. Rain has been through this many a times, and Oleg, who's part of Oleg, who's the other coach on the team. Like, it's a good system there, and I always say with the athletes, if they feel good in the environment they're in and they enjoy coming every day, they're going to perform well. And I think that's the key. And it's been a good, I think for him it's been a good year, and they really picked up, and he had a good season last year. So we're looking for that to continue.
Okay. And some coaching shifting by Duhamel and Radford during the off season. Do athletes ever pick up the phone to you to sort of get your sense about a move that they're making, or do you really let them make that decision and then support or come in and assist as need be?
No, we're often aware, like that's what we're here for. We'll often talk to coaches, we'll talk to skaters. At the end of the day, the decision is theirs, and we support what decision they make. But if they want to have someone to talk to, someone to bounce it off, someone to get some input from, we're there to provide whatever feedback they're looking for. But I always say it's skating's a business. And the tough thing is that because of the time you spend with the coaches and that, you kind of grow a relationship. So that's always the tougher part. But you know what? As I said, we have a veteran team, and they have to feel they want to be in the position they want to be in this season.
Mike, it's a pleasure talking to you and getting your sense of the Canadian team. We look forward to assessing over the course of the season with you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.